All right, guys, so the first material that we're going to talk to you about is carpet. Obviously, I'm over here doing a set of steps. We're going to go over that here in just a minute. I'm going to let you see what it's like whenever I install a set of steps. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is this piece of carpet right here. Now, there's three main grades of carpet in your residential carpet material. There's Berber, which a lot of people don't use anymore. Berber is one continuous row that is woven. You saw it in a lot of the 90s, early 2000s homes, but it's one woven row. It looks like little popcorns, right? It has a lot of patterns in it and everything. You do nice patterns in Berber. Most of your pattern match carpet is Berber carpet. The problem with Berber is many things. Number one, dog catches his nail on it, your kids pull on a row, and that material is ruined. Once you pull one of those rows, there's not a lot we can do with it except cut that piece and try to stretch it and seam it back together, which 9 times out of 10 is going to cost you more than it's worth to do. We're going to recommend replacing that piece of carpet. The next carpet, which has been around forever, is plush. Plush is your basic builder grade carpet, that you see in a lot of apartments. So it just kind of sticks straight up. We call it the nap, the fibers in the carpet. Sticks kind of straight up and is very even across the top, little fibers. That's a good material, but it shows a lot of traffic marks through it. Your vacuum lines will show up in it. If you like vacuum lines, then you're going to want to go with plush. My favorite carpet that's been around probably since 2002 and was copied after the old shag carpet is Frise. And this is Frise carpet right here. Frise is great. Frise usually comes in a BCF carpet. When you hear people talking about BCF, they're talking about a bulk continuous filament nylon. That's one strand of nylon that's run through the whole nap of the carpet. And it's a spring, okay? So it doesn't show wear as well. It's going to bounce back. It doesn't show seams as easily, okay? So you see right here, I'm running my hand through it. It doesn't really show tracking. If you see me pushing my hand on it right here, you're not going to see handprints. The nap, even though it runs in one direction, it can lay pretty much in any direction and still look even and still look good. Sometimes some guys will even do what we call a quarter turn of the carpet when they're seaming it together, and that's where carpet all runs in one direction, right? So I don't know if you've ever taken your hands across a piece of fiber in your car or even the carpet, and you can run your hand one direction and it looks like a shadow's there, and then you hit it the other direction and it looks like it's gone, right? Well, that's because carpet lays in a certain direction. It runs in a certain direction. So when you hear an installer or somebody talking about the carpet's running this way or that way, they're meaning the way the nap is laying down, okay? When you quarter turn a piece of carpet, which is not recommended, by the way, that means that one piece of carpet is running one direction and the next piece is running in the opposite direction, okay? Not the opposite direction, the horizontal direction connected to it. And you can get away with that with most frises, and that'll hide. With any other type of carpet, you can't get away with it because as soon as the light hits that section, the carpet that's laying in this direction is going to look different than the one that's laying in this direction. So anyways, Frise is great because you can do a lot with it. It hides a lot. It's easy to clean, okay? So these fibers separate as a vacuum cleaner is going over it. It allows your vacuum to pull up what's stuck on the backing. So a lot of times your carpet will look like it's faded, stained, or whatever, and it's not. It's just where either a spill or dirt particles have gotten down to the backing. When your vacuum cleaner goes over the top of it, that material will pull up, but it gets trapped by the top layer of fiber at the top. And as soon as that suction goes past it, that stuff falls back down. And worse than that, over time, it begins to collect more and more and more, all right? And that changes the color of your material. The other thing that can happen is if a dog urinates on your floor or, whatever, there's all kinds of different spills that can happen in the household. That material can soak, that stain can soak down to the padding underneath and it will stain that pad. And so you can come through and shampoo that carpet and think that you've got it perfectly clean. It'll look clean. And then a month later, you come back and that same ring is there again. Well, what's happening is that stain is absorbed into the padding below your carpet, and you're never going to get it out now because every time you hit it, it'll go away and it just reabsorbs right back up through the backing of the carpet. So that's the other reason why I like Frise. It's very easy to clean. Now, when you're going out and you're looking for carpet, guys, I always recommend that you look at the backing. A lot of people don't take the backing into account, okay? So there's there's multiple different types of backing. There's action back, there's soft back, there's, this regular latex back, then there's aggregate backing carpet, okay? So your cheaper carpets, your lower grade carpets, if you look at the back of them, they're going to be brown, all right? So I don't know if you guys have ever gone through and ripped up carpet in your house before, and you're a clean person. You rip that carpet up and all of a sudden you see a whole lot of sand and dirt underneath. After you pull it all up and you're like, wait a second, I'm clean. Where did all this come from? What's happening is that brown backed carpet is manufactured with its sand aggregate that holds together the glue that is adhered to these fibers back here that the nap is attached to, okay? And they glue this nap woven onto that backing. Over time, it begins as soon as we start stretching it in, the wear and tear breaks that backing up, and that sand, as it loosens and falls away and onto your subfloor, lets go of the fibers on top. And that's why a lot of fibers and a lot of carpets with that brown backing just kind of look rough. You know, they lose their shape and their texture. Their wear protection runs out real quick. So that's why I always recommend you go with a latex back carpet. And it's very simple. When you're shopping for your carpets, wherever you get it from, just be sure and flip over and look at the back and make sure that it's white like this. That means that it's manufactured with a latex adhesive that is going to allow it to stretch and expand and retract with heat and temperature changes in your home, wear over time. All right. So that's pretty much it for the carpet. There's a whole lot other dealing with carpet. There's, like I said before, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot that goes into it. So do your research. Always do your research. Always make sure that your installer is insured. Depending on what state you're in, licensed and bonded. In North Carolina, we don't have to be licensed. I've been doing this for almost 30 years now. And, you're not going to find any licensed guys in North Carolina. We can get accredited. But just be sure and make sure you do your research, okay? And go with somebody that is insured. All right.